On this special episode of Kilts Culture, we have a huge announcement. Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome to a special edition of Kilts and Culture. I'm Rocky. That's Eric.
Yeah.
So, a couple days ago, we asked everybody in the Facebook group, on our page, everywhere we could scream from the rooftops. We had a special announcement. We wanted to know what your guesses were for the special announcement. Today, we're going to unveil the special announcement, but before we do that, we want to go over what your guesses were, and then we'll get right to it, I promise.
So we had several possible guesses, and
Creative.
very,
I like them.
very
Yes.
creative. A couple I'm actually stowing away for future reference. One of them was we're opening a theme park.
Creative idea. I don't know how I would feel about the rides where, you get pulled up in the air wearing kilts and then drop down to earth.
Well, you could charge admission for observation as well.
Oh,
as,
yes.
you know,
There's like you put the quarter in, you get the binocular machines.
Mhm,
So we can do that. Yes.
nice and discreet.
Yes,
so
we'll
the
call
ladies can be in a booth or something.
Indeed.
You know.
We'll call it the Marilyn Monroe ride.
Right. the Monroeatron.
So no, we're not opening a theme park.
How about a store location? A lot of people were hoping we were going to open a new store location.
Yeah, I'm too much of a control freak. Like to control the narrative too much. Like to have my eyes and my fingers in all the pots and have a close-knit community here in the building as well as online, obviously. But it's difficult to think about a second location for us because we want the information that employees are giving to customers to be the same, down in the store than it is up here. And when you get further and further away and have more and more people doing the thing, it gets more difficult.
Once we have the Hyperloop going,
Exactly.
we'll open up a West Coast. And then you can be in both offices at the same time, pretty much.
Forget that. I want a duplicate. I want to duplicate
clone?
myself. Yes, I want clones. Yes. Need that.
What about hosting our own Highland games?
Hosting a home, we toyed around with that in the past.
You
before,
did that. You actually did do that.
Well, we hosted a festival.
Yes, a festival. That's the Highland
yes.
Games or a music festival.
Okay. Yeah, music festival we've kind of done before when we were in Phoenixville. That was a lot of freaking work. I freaking hats off to the people who put on and run or volunteers for festivals. It is a lot more work than people realize. It's like herding cats. There's so many different areas you don't even think about if you're just attending the games. But the Highland Games, no, we're not doing a Highland Games. We may have a group outing to
or the world's largest gathering of kilts, like maybe a kiltathon.
Could we break the world's record?
I think we got to do a party at least.
Yeah, we'll do a
Let's
party
at
at
least
some
do
point.
that.
Yeah, that's not the announcement, but yes,
No. God, no.
I like parties.
I like parties too. New lines of accessories, perhaps. Someone was saying perhaps maybe like Nordic tweed themed stuff, Celtic boar themed. You're reading my mind. I would love to do some more Celtic animal stuff. A linen kilt jacket, maybe.
We have. Well, we'll save that one for next. The what are we talking about? Who knows?
You didn't hear anything here.
You heard nothing. New accessories, kind of. We have a new two-tone kilt hose coming out, and we have 2 new T-shirts that just arrived. Maybe on a particular point.
Yeah, somebody wondered if it was new T-shirts.
Yep, we do have a couple new T-shirt designs specifically for a reason. You'll find out soon.
So, real quick, other ideas, and
Okay.
stop me if any of these appeal to you and you want to actually pursue them. Okay. Flip brogues, otherwise known as gilly flops. Paisley print sandals. I think those would be closed toe. You see more of the pattern that way, and that's just be safer. Custom buckle brogue collection. Bring back buckle brogues and make them sexy.
Is that possible?
No, buckle brogues are about as sexy as it gets. Maybe rhinestones, that helps. But extra white kilt hose, like reflective.
Fair.
So so you can see the band coming even in the rain.
Indeed.
Celtic themed Hawaiian shirts. Yeah.
Oh, was that for the product ideas there?
No, tartan patterned lederhosen. Lederhosen, sorry.
Yes.
I mean, you are German.
Yes, because tartan leather would be easier to do. I thank you all for those product suggestions. They're horrible, so no.
I think they knew they were.
I know, they're just taking a shot. That's fine. All right.
New tartan based off of the Google survey that you did. That was from Jacob Simbala. So for those who don't know, we had done a customer survey a couple months ago, and we got what?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
1,013 responses.
Yeah.
That is a very good guess. That is very close to what has actually happened. So
Getting warmer.
Getting warmer. Yes. Good way to put it.
Or maybe in a similar vein, new tartan designs like American Dream muted, weathered, or tweed, fall themed tartan maybe, more tweed tartans generally, a U.S. Olympic team tartan. I would love to do that. Scottish football tartans, also again very cool, or new American tartans, and those were all ideas from Suzu Tour.
The last one was the idea from him. Yes.
Suzu Tour, yeah.
New American tartans. Now that, my friends, is an interesting idea. So, and frankly speaking, the closest to the actual announcement.
Yeah.
Without further delay,
Delusions?
without further delusions, without further delay, roll it. How do you define the American spirit? What are the things that we as Americans hold near and dear to our hearts? As we approach the 250th anniversary of our founding, these questions got us thinking. What are the good things about America, about being an American, that we can all agree on? We could start with the land itself, our awe-inspiring landscapes. We could point to the aspirational values in our founding documents. What about our heroes, larger-than-life historical figures, as well as everyday heroes just helping their neighbors? And our freedoms that make America a beacon of hope. Ask any immigrant from any time why they chose to come here. It's because they saw the inherent beauty in this country and the promise that it held for them. Yes, there are serious issues dividing Americans right now, but in the end, we have a lot more in common than we think. Our saga is made up of countless smaller stories. Stories of noble ideals and fierce independence, community building and brotherly love, hard work and self-determination. All this against the backdrop of epic beauty from sea to shining sea. So how do you express the spirit of America? Through art. In our case, tartan. But you can't really capture the scope of the American spirit in a single design. So we created 13 to honor our nation's upcoming anniversary. We're going to release a new tartan every 2 months leading up to our semiquincentennial on July 4th, 2026. Each tartan will celebrate a meaningful aspect of the American experience. And with these designs, our goal is to paint a dynamic picture of the United States. Our landscapes, our people, and our ideals. America 250 is our most ambitious project to date. Let's celebrate the positive things that make America unlike any other country on earth. So, you look too evil there.
I can't help it. It's just my face structure.
I know.
I am freaking psyched for this project.
I know. This is something that we've been thinking about, ideating about for quite a while. First, this is a town hall-esque, there's not really a great name for it, format. So if you guys have questions about the project, about the tartans, about whatever you guys have questions about, that's what we're trying to do today, is kind of have a discussion about the stuff. So put your questions down in the comments. We're going to go over the stuff. And the reason why we're doing this, we are trying to think of what we wanted to accomplish, who we are as a company, how we can contribute to a larger discussion. So in doing this project, we essentially want to tell a story. We want to tell the story of America. We want to tell the story of the people of America, and have a fun, uplifting, positive kind of smattering of different stories. We didn't want to put ourselves in a box and say it has to be, or just talk about this thing or just talk about that thing.
Right.
We want to have a bunch of different things between, you know, the landscapes of America, the concepts, the ideals, the things, the experiences we all have in common. We wanted to have a fuller, wider reaching picture that we're painting, not just have one individual thing or another.
Yeah, because I mean, I have to say that we were real excited and happy with the American Dream tartan when it came out. But when we started thinking again about the anniversary coming up, and we thought, you know, the last thing anybody needs is another red, white, and blue tartan that's just like, yay, America. And just we wrote it into the script for the video. It's basically just, you can't really encompass what this country is about without going into more depth and more color and more energy. So it was like, what if we really went big? So we went big.
Yeah. Yeah, it's something that we've when we came out with the American Dream tartan, we thought about the whole thing. What does it mean? And we wanting to tell a good story about it. It has to have a good story to the design and to why we're doing a certain thing. And just throwing out another tartan doesn't mean anything. It has to have a meaning to it, a reason. And in doing the American Dream, it kind of got our gears thinking about the semiquincentennial coming up in 2026, and what it means to be an American and the experiences that we have and what we have in common and those kind of things. And from it, that kind of planted the seed, is the best way to say it, in the back of our brains of we need to do something. We're not sure what, but we need to do something. And then in a completely random way, we not random way, but in a random stroke of luck, we did the survey a few months ago.
Right. And big customer survey.
Yeah. And it was almost an afterthought of doing the survey of like, okay, what do you guys want to see for tartan design, for concepts, for what is this world missing that we can help with? And the overwhelming positive response to the survey, the overwhelming number of people who wanted to contribute to the conversation, the community that we have around, of this whole thing, not our community, but the tartan, the kilt community, is crazy. And there was some really, really, really good ideas in there. And just watching and going through it with a fine-tooth comb and just going through literally every single one of the suggestions, every 1,013 suggestions, one at a time, looking at them, and then trying to find trends, trying to find things that people said multiple times over, things that were trends with a general concept, or things that kind of work together to inspire us to come up with new ideas and new designs to bring it forward. That's really kind of energized us, for lack of a better phrase. It energized us to come up with some cool things. And then we thought, like, okay, well, how do we put these together? How do we want to do regional? Do we want to do, based on, battles? Do we want to do based on X, Y, and Z? And then we kind of looked at it and said, no, we need to step outside that thinking. We need to go bigger. We need to have some cool concepts. We need to have, some regional, some landscape, some concept, some of all of it to tell a better story of the people of this country and what we care about and our experiences and all of it. So I hope that, we do this whole thing justice. I believe we will. I'm inspired more than I've ever been as far as designing things, to come up with some really, really cool stuff. So indeed, Matt, looks like you have some people making comments out there. And for the people out there, I hope you enjoy my join or die mug,
dropping your
handmade mug. This is not a product placement, by the way. I got this down in Colonial Williamsburg. I freaking love this thing. I begged my wife to allow me to take my own mug because I need it for this video. I love it.
But yeah, we got a ton of folks asking a ton of questions. One, I just want to say the link is now in the chat. So if anybody has any questions about the release schedule, you can go check it out there. Some folks are asking, are we going to get to see all the tartans now? And what does the release schedule look like?
The release schedule, so glad you asked. Actually, Adam, if you could put the release schedule down below, Bam.
Almost like we planned it.
Almost like we planned it. Literally 5 minutes before we went live, I ran into my office and turned on the link for the website. So it's actually America 250 is in the navigation bar on the website. It gives the video we just played as well as the landing, what will be the landing pages for all the different tartans, and you'll be able to see them and kind of a single photo inspiration of what we feel, what we're thinking of when we think about Amber Waves, when we think about Purple Mountains, when we think about American Worker, when we think about all these different tartans that you're seeing scrolling down here, that these are the types of things that are going through our brain. So the release schedules on the website, we do not have them all designed yet. We have the concepts. We have several of them designed. We have the concepts for many of them. We have the loose outlines of them. We have some of them
Some color
halfway
palettes.
done. We have color palettes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are in the process of these things. So no, part of the playfulness, if you will, of what we are doing is we are releasing one every 2 months. You don't get to see all of them right up front. This is a collection that we are building over time, and we are showing you one every 2 months. So Monday, July 1st, 2024, we're going to be releasing the very, very first one, the Unity, the E Pluribus Unum, the Join or Die tartan is going to be the first one that we are doing.
Yep.
It's titled E Pluribus Unum. That's going to be the first one that we are coming out with, and the rest of them will follow suit every 2 months. So that's kind of the schedule from July 4th, or from July 2024 all the way through July 4th, 2026, when we're going to be releasing the last one right at the semiquincentennial anniversary of the country.
Yeah, a couple of them are the final genesis of ideas that you've had and inklings you've had. I almost want to say for years. For a couple of these, it's like, ooh, I want to do one that looks like this. So this was like an opportunity for us to take some older ideas and some precious ideas and give them a linchpin, give them an anchor point is what I mean, a place to actually bring them to fruition and a deadline. So a few of them are done because in some ways they were already percolating in your mind.
Yeah.
A couple of them we are getting input from other people. We have a few people who are helping with the designs.
Experts in specific areas, if you think of it that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so it's it's in good hands.
Yeah. And the other, and this is not just blowing smoke, in all honesty, a huge factor in this was not only things, thoughts, ideas that have been kicking around my brain, kicking around Derek's brain, it's also the survey. Like there was a ton of either brand new good ideas in there, some of which we are doing, some of which we can't, some of which are kind of shoehorned in or inspiration for other ideas that are on this list. It's a group think type or a group sourcing type thing.
You want to mention one of the couple of examples?
Sure. The one example that we have that was like a surprise, not one that I had thought was going to be in the survey results, but one that was surprisingly mentioned a lot was a tartan for the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
The number of people that commented PNW, Pacific Northwest, or Orchidia, whatever the other phrase that
New
people
Forest,
use.
things like that.
The number of people who mentioned that they wanted something for that was surprisingly overwhelming.
Yep.
So we included that in as one of the things. But there's also inspiration for people wanted either tartans for the trades, like welders or steel workers or electricians, things like that. Pro-union tartans, like there's a lot of those. So we have the American Workers tartan, which is taking that energy, all of those things about the hands that build America, and kind of incorporating that in a particular design.
Yep.
What are some of the other ones that jump out to you that were on the list? I'm trying to remember. Matt.
So I know Leave No Trace was one that kind of had a lot of themes on the
that
list.
had a lot of
So we had like
hunting, camping, fishing, hiking, outdoorsyness,
wilderness adventure,
scouts, survivalist, all of that was kind of
Yeah. So it's that's thank you for reminding me. That's another great one. That it's there's a lot of good stuff.
We
out
had
there.
we had a lot of people who wanted something that was southwestern or western, like something that had a cowboy feel to it, or a well, like I said, Southwestern vibe to it, and a couple people specifically mentioning the Grand Canyon.
Yep.
And I'm very invested in seeing that one look awesome because, it's home turf for me a little bit, and the color palette is amazing in my opinion. So, and that's the thing. I mean, we started with what, like, national parks was the original
concept.
Yeah.
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 Well, it was celebrating America.
It was, yeah.
And then regions, and then figuring, okay, well, maybe we look at national parks.
Yeah, as a way to express the regions.
As a way to express the regions, which then kind of morphed into, well, there's too many freaking national parks. Maybe we'll do something else. And it's kind of, wove its way through. It was really, really cool to have a project like this and be involved in it with, you with Matt helping ideate on it a little bit, and kind of thinking through the process and the revision of what the concept was and how do we tell a story? How do we get to this thing? What's the ultimate goal we want to get to? And just, watching it, morph from one thing to another. And I'm really, really pleased with where the story aspect has ended up. I think I'm happy we started it early enough to give it a chance to breathe as a concept. So, yeah. Matt, other questions?
Caught me while I was writing. Yes, we actually have a ton of questions pouring in, though I've seen two more common than others.
Okay.
I think most common question people want to know is, they want to know if the series is going to be a limited run or if these are going to be available forever.
Sure. I am, as always, trying to be as transparent and honest as possible in all of this stuff. So the answer is, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. This is a huge freaking project. So if it fails, if nobody likes any of the designs, then it's going to be a very limited run. Cool. If it is, if it blows the freaking doors off, then they're going to stick around. So the most honest, transparent answer I can give you is it is our burning desire to come up with the best tartan designs we can come up with for every single concept that we have. So we want this to be a permanent collection. I want this to be wildly successful. I want people to want these forever. If I come up with a puke green and fuchsia tartan design for Grand Canyon and nobody freaking buys it, then nope, that's going to be a limited run. So it's somewhere in the middle. If a lot of people like the design, and I'm taking each one individually. If a lot of people like a particular design and it sells really, really well, and there's a lot of clamoring for it, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, I wish I could get it, but I can't get it right now," then we might end up keeping it either overstocking on it or bringing it back again and again and again.
Right.
Now, if it doesn't sell all that well, then no, that particular one may be just an individual short run. So all this to say, every tartan we're going to have a window, a minimum window of a month. So July 1st, we're dropping E Pluribus Unum. We're dropping the story, we're dropping the tartan, we're dropping everything. Products that are available in it, all of it's going to be on the website July 1st. Now, if you have to freaking have it, then yes, order it between, in the month of July. If you're just like, I'd like it, but I'll see, if it sticks around, then great. Or if you're like, I can't afford it, then it may stick around, but I can't guarantee it. If you need it, you have to do it in the window, but there's a reasonable chance that it would stick around. So that's my hedging way of saying I can't tell you 100%, but I'm doing my best, peoples. Matt, next question.
Yes. So our other probably most common question we're getting, people want to know, are they going to be in just wool? Are any going to be in PV? What are we looking at?
Of course. Essentially, very, very, very similar answer. It's the wool. Thinking of it this way, the wool is the proof of concept. If it does well in wool and a billion people ask for it in PV as well because they just can't afford it in wool or because they want it in a machine washable option or whatever, then potentially. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying yes. I can't give you an answer. For wool, I can order, 20, 30 meters at a reasonable price from company perspective, at a reasonable price and get it moving. So pre-selling it and having a big project this way, I can get it moving and have a proof of concept for any particular design and get it at a lower cost, a lower bar to entry. For PV, it is a much, much, much higher bar to entry. In order to keep the PV prices where they are on the website, I have to order 300 meters. So that is a huge risk to take to order 300 meters of a tartan if 20 people want the thing versus, a couple hundred people want the thing.
Right.
So again, very, very similar answer. I'm not trying to dodge the question. I'm trying to give you an honest, straightforward, transparent type answer that I don't have a good answer. It's we have to see how it does. And then if it does well, and if people still want it after the fact in polyviscose, then and only then, yes, we would do it in PV, but I can't promise that we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think we'll get a better idea for some of this stuff as the first couple of ones percolate.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be your reactions to them as they go forward. Now, not every tartan is going to be like every other. We don't have a common overriding design theme for the entire collection. Each one is going to be a little unique, have its own feel. The symbolism sometimes will be more on the color. Other times it's going to be the color plus the line count, the in the set,
count, yeah.
Things like that. So there is going to be different, and it's going to be a question of us, basically a consensus between you folks and us, seeing how things pan out and how the numbers go through, whether these things are masterpieces or just fun to have. I am confident that most of them are going to be pretty freaking epic. But I live in my own little tartan bubble, so your mileage may vary. But yeah, we're gonna once whatever ball is handed to us, we will run with it.
Yeah, and we are fully committed to doing all 13 of these.
Yeah,
we are fully committed to telling 13 individual stories about these individual concepts and getting at the root of the positivity, the positive things that the story of America in positive ways and different aspects of the thing. So we are 100% doing the thing. It's a matter of how wide and broad reaching this becomes.
Yeah.
But good questions. Matt.
Yeah, so a lot of people are giving their opinions on some of the tartans they like.
Okay.
Already.
Haven't seen them.
Oh,
You have
wow.
opinions.
Yeah, what they
Love
think
it.
they're
The
going to
mind
like.
probes out there in your brain.
But some of them also want to know which ones are we most excited for. Like, here at the beginning of the collection.
Well,
what
all
are you
of them.
All right. Well,
All my kids are my favorite kids.
Adam, bring up the scrolling thingamajigger at the bottom there.
The ticker tape.
Ticker tape, yeah. Matt, we'll keep you in for this. I want your opinion on it as well. Which one or ones, one or two, are you most excited about?
Sure. So I think the one I'm most looking forward to is County Fair for a couple reasons. One, I like a carnival during the summer is just one of my favorite things with the lights and the food and just all of it. I love that. And also, I have no idea what that tartan's going to look like. I'm just just from a truly curiosity perspective, that's one I'm really looking forward to because I want to know what we're going to do with it.
Okay. Eric.
Well, I already mentioned I'm psyched for Grand Canyon. The other one I'm really psyched for actually is Spark.
Okay.
Which I know is going to really potentially confuse a few people, but you have an idea of how to explain what we're on about with that.
Yeah.
But it pushes my buttons in terms of the concept behind it. As both
Artistically and story
as a creative person and a history person, it kind of pushes my buttons. So those are the two that are at the top of my personal list.
Okay. The two that are probably top of mine are I'll give two. The E pluribus unum, because it's the first one, and I want to see what the heck the reaction is. We've spent a lot of time on that particular one, crafting the narrative, having the story of it, and we've already done that one. It's in the can. Obviously, it's coming up in a few days, so it better be freaking done.
Yep.
One more change to the video. They're fine with that.
Hi, Geralt.
So that one I'm really excited for, as well as I was going to say Spark because I really like that one, but I think Leave No Trace because that one, that's another one that we may do something a little playful with.
Yeah.
A little different with that design.
Leave No Trace is probably my third.
Yeah.
Honestly, because of outdoorsiness and I live in the woods and all that. So.
Yeah, but see, American Worker just came up on the screen. Now I want to do American Worker as well.
I know.
That's another one I'm really strong about.
Yep.
Frankly, what's your favorite child? Like ask us that.
Right. Right.
A lot of these honestly are things that have been in my brain forever, and I want to get them out, or Eric's brain, in fairness. So it's things that we want to get out, we want to see come to fruition. These are stories we want to tell, and I can't wait for, like, I'm more excited than you guys are. Trust me. I want these things to exist. So yeah, those are the ones that I'm probably most excited about.
You know what? I mean, for me, it is a measure of patriotism, and it's a measure of pride in this country, and it's also about relatability. I mean, we obviously we're fans of Scotland. We're Scotophiles, for lack of a better word, Celtophiles. But as often with a lot of our customers over the years, we know there are people who don't feel as strong a connection to a clan or something, for instance, or they love Scotland, but they want something that feels closer to home. And it's just like, it's right in the name of the company, USA Kilts. So you always say that Scotland's gift to the world is tartan. We want to take that gift and bring it home. Just like, like bourbon was what the Scots and Scots-Irish made whiskey here because they had to adapt to the environment of the United States. So we're taking tartan and we're making an American expression of it. Not just, yay, red, white, and blue, 1776, but really getting into the nerve center of it. And that's what has me excited about it, because a lot of these they're just relatable. I mean, they're things that you grew up with. So
Agreed.
That's the bottom line.
So question of the day. We're still doing a question of the day because this is KNC.
Oh, yeah.
Which one are you guys,
you guys
most excited about? And Matt, I'm not asking for a full tally by the end of the show, but let me know what are the top the top ones that people seem to be most excited about. So tell us down in the comments which one you guys are most excited about.
Oh, I was already setting up a bunch of tally marks for you. So
nice.
I had all 13 written down.
You're already right there. You and me, buddy. Excellent. All right. Other questions?
Yes. So a couple people asked this one. So APLVC and Ryan both asked, are we going to offer some kind of subscription for all of them, or maybe a discount?
Subscription. Tartan of the Month Club. Tartan of the Every Other Month Club.
Okay, we've joked about this for years.
Right.
We've joked about Tartan of the Month Club for years, and I'm honestly, like, more humbled than that you guys would even like joke about doing something like that. It's the trust and the response of the community for the designs that we do is overwhelming, like almost emotionally overwhelming for me.
It really is.
The trust and the excitement and all of it. It's just it energizes us to know that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. A, for the community. B, in life.
Right.
So I say this like half in jest, half not. If you really, really want like Pokemon, gotta catch them all. If you want all of them, send an email to sales and we'll try to figure something out. Like if you're willing to pony up for all these things, A, you're nuts in a good way. But B, we'll figure something out. Buy 12, get the 13th free. I don't know. Or, if you buy 12, 5-yard kilts, then you get a 5-yard or the last one for free. I don't know. We'll figure something out.
The devil will be in the details, but can't fault anybody for the enthusiasm.
Yeah. I am not mad at the enthusiasm at all. It speaks volumes of what we are doing and the nerve that we're hitting. So thank you guys. We are humbled. Send an email to sales@usakilts.com. Matt.
Yeah. So let me see who asked this question. Their name is gone. However, someone asked. They're on the website looking at the banner images we had.
Yeah.
And they wanted to know if the images we chose for that are going to be similar to the colors of the tartans.
Maybe, kind of, sort of, but we're not.
Sometimes.
We're not tying our own hands. So for like America 250, we want to do something. It's called the America 250 tartan collection, but we're also going to do an America 250 tartan for January of 2026 when it starts to pick up pace.
Right.
That one, for the image, we have like the Betsy Ross flag on there, and then
thank you, Adam.
On the category page we have the American flag and the Declaration of Independence. So no, it's not going to be tan and red, white, and blue. Or it may be, it may not be. But for some of these, yes, we are trying to convey a specific thing in the colors that we're choosing. Excuse me, in the colors that we're choosing. In other ones, no, for the ones that are more just an abstract concept. So yes and no. It's not a direct line from A to B. Some of them yes, some of them kind of, some of them no.
And you can intuit that where it's a natural feature, it's more likely that what you're seeing in those photographs, or if you do Google images of the Pacific Northwest, you're going to get a sense of the colors we're looking at because it's a natural landscape. But where the concept gets more abstract, we're going to be playing around with it.
Yeah.
Because there's symbolism there's layers of symbolism to the story that we're telling that we're going to pick out, okay, well, this color feels like it should represent this thing. The other thing we discovered with a couple of these was that there are colors that you don't think about that are associated with some of these places and some of these things. Like, I want to give an example, but I don't want to reveal anything. But
yeah, you can reveal a little bit.
Well, like the state bird of Washington State.
Yeah.
For example.
Yeah.
That was you reached out to
my friend Darcy, who's lived there for 20 years or whatever, and she's in something with biology. Like she runs around and like samples all the local flora and does like testing of things. So she's like really into the ecology of the Pacific Northwest. She's like lives on an island off the coast of Seattle. So we're trying to reach out to people with an emotional investment and or a deep understanding of particular areas. But like that one was an example. Another one I would hint at a little bit would be like the Grand Canyon. There's colors there, and I would also say the colors shift with particular things depending on the time of day.
Absolutely.
And there's colors you're not thinking of. There's literally layers of colors in the Grand Canyon
layers.
And the Red Rock region out there. So there's a lot of, or for Purple Mountain's Majesty, like we obviously took Amber Waves and Purple Mountain's Majesty from America the Beautiful,
from the song,
from the inspiration from the song. So there's things there that we want to tap into. Are the mountains actually purple? No, but it's with sunset you can see certain things, and there's different colors and things that make it more interesting. So no, it's not going to be a purple tartan with white stripes. It's going to be, it's not Barney meets Barney's smiling teeth or whatever, but it's
we should do a Sesame Street tartan.
Indeed.
Yeah.
But there's going to be it's creative license. So I don't want to tie my hand behind my back and say you have to do specific color palettes because of X, Y, or Z. But I want to get creative in it to have a better design.
Well, and again, it's avoiding the cliche.
Yes.
There are certain parts of these images and these ideas which are iconic, and your brain will immediately snap to certain colors or certain numbers or whatever. And we're definitely taking advantage of that, but we also want to make sure we're getting that whole story in there. So we don't want it to be cliche. Like we said at the beginning, you don't need another just generically red, white, and blue tartan that's red, white, and blue for the sake of being red, white, and blue. There's got to be some heart in the designs.
I kind of feel called out with my red, white, and blue.
But even
and yours.
Okay, but the point is, like, especially with American Dream, other designers, I will say, would not have thought of putting the gold in or doing the shading like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so or the symbolism that you chose.
Yeah.
So that's the trick. That is the balancing act. So
that's the artistry within it. Yes.
Exactly.
Yep. Agreed.
So sorry, I'm excited.
We all are. Matt.
Yes.
Next one.
From Colton Cunningham. He asked, are these going to be just kilts, or are we going to offer them in other products? So scarves, ties, stuff for women, etc.
Yeah.
If it's wool.
If it's wool, we can do it. So ties, yes. Scarves, probably not scarves specifically from an aspect of it's lamb's wool. So we have to do it literally a run just of lamb's wool, and you're talking a couple hundred minimum. So it's a big gamble. So probably not lamb's wool scarves, but anything we can make from 13-ounce wool or tweed or whatever we make it out of, hint, we will be able to make out of this. So mini kilts, midi kilts, maxi kilts, kilted skirts, shawls, serapes, neckties,
jackets and vests,
men's kilts, things like that, flashes, table runners. Yes, all of those things will be available in it. And how we're gonna, once we release E Pluribus Unum, you'll understand kind of where we're going with it. we're going to have on the product page or on the category page for E pluribus unum, as an example, it's going to be all of the products that are available in that tartan. Each one is going to have its own individual product
Right.
that we offer in the thing. And then we're also going to include it in the tartan gallery as well, so you can shop and add it to a package and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So, yes, good question.
Mm-hmm.
Matt.
Let's see. A couple people asked what mill we're using.
Good question. The biggest, frankly, the biggest concern with this, well, twofold concerns. First concern was the breadth of colors that are available. So House of Edgar obviously was an easy fit because they have a ton of color options in 13 ounce. The other, but if we wanted to do something in 16 ounce, because we didn't want to just do 13, so we wanted to do something potentially in 16 ounce, we can either do Loch Heron or we can do Martin Mills. The second concern, the thing that is most critical here, is the timing of all this stuff, because we don't want to disappoint anyone. This has to happen flawlessly.
Yep.
There's dominoes that has to fall in a particular order, and it can't get screwed up. So, that said, many phone calls, begging, pleading, threatening, all the above, to a couple different mills, and basically said, look, I have to have the cloth. Once I say go on a particular thing, we're going to need the cloth in 6 weeks, 7 weeks max, because we have to get it in and get things moving so that we can still move along and have things going, have actual products going out the door as fast as we can get them, so that way we're not jumping over 3 tartans before, the third tartan, you're getting your first tartan design. So we don't want people to think that we don't want them to get nervous about I ordered my thing 3 months ago, where is it?
Right.
And they're now on the third tartan or whatever it is. So we're trying to make sure that the mills are committed to us to particular timeframes.
Mm-hmm.
And I will happily say that Martin Mills and House of Edgar both committed, the very, very serious discussions with them of, we can't use you unless you commit that this will happen in this time frame. And, I got from the highest authority at both mills, yes, it will happen on the time frame that I have asked for. So, fingers crossed, everything goes according to plan. No plan survives contact with the enemy, but yes, everything will be done in theory via Martin Mills and House of Edgar. So we'll see what happens. I have ideas which tartans I might want to do in 16 or might want to do in 13, or if I want to do something in tweed. So I do have some fun, crazy concepts up my sleeve. But those are basically, that's long-winded answer to say those are the 2 mills that we're probably going to use, are House of Edgar and Loch Heron, or House of Edgar and Martin Mills for the majority of them. Never say never, but those are the 2 I have plans for.
Yep.
Excellent. Matt.
Yeah. So how about, so we've had some version of 3 people ask this. So You Must Be This Tall, Noah, and AJ all asked if there were going to be special kilt pins or accessories or anything else coming out besides the tartans.
Yes, kind of, maybe, not sure. So for E pluribus unum, if you've already poked around on the website, you'll already have seen that we have an E pluribus unum shirt on the website. So we have come out with a red shirt. The green shirt, don't let that throw you off. Don't let that throw you. There is not that green in the tartan. That was just a secondary t-shirt.
That's a good point.
I'm kind of dispelling that idea. So people don't buy that one hoping it's going to match the tartan. But it does have a bit of red in it, a wee bit. So we had the red tartan, or the red shirt, come out to match part of the E pluribus unum tartan, again, dropping that one on Monday. We have some concepts for things that we could potentially do.
I do.
It's a tricky one, because the turnaround time and for accessories, whether it's kilt pin, belt buckles, sporrans, whatever it is, that time frame can be a little bit longer for particular things. So, and much more costly up front. It's not just my time, their time, internal time, video time. It's development cost, development time of people over in the UK that we have to rely on for certain things. So there's more dominoes to have to fall if we're doing accessories, or different dominoes to have to fall. So maybe, not sure, not 100%, but maybe some accessories come out of this.
Have some ideas.
Yeah.
Have some ideas are percolating for sure.
I would say that as we get further into it, I would probably and get some of the tartan designs, more of the tartan designs done. It's finalized. It gives us more breathing room. Right now, I'm drowning in tartan designs and video clips.
Yeah.
So right now we're drowning in this work, but as we get ahead of it a little bit in the next 3, 4, 6 months, then our brains start going to, okay, what accessories could be cool to complement these different things? And at that point, I think we start going like, yeah, let's do a kilt pin for that one or for this one or a buckle or whatever. So, yep.
We're open to suggestions.
Yeah.
I assume, as always.
Sure. Absolutely. That's actually a good idea.
Yep.
Crowdsource it. If you guys have any suggestions of accessories for particular ones, let us know. Matt.
Well, we do have a couple people chiming in on just that in the comments.
Sure.
Someone suggested, and people are saying that'd be a great idea, maybe like a corn dog kilt pin for county fair.
Now, here's my caveat. The accessories have to live beyond the tartan.
Right.
So
that was the thing. Yeah. They
yes,
have to,
indeed. So like if we just came out with the like the Liberty Torch kilt pin and the American Eagle buckle to go with E Pluribus Unum, that would have been a great idea. We already have them, so we're going to put them on the category page. But the corn dog, but we could still sell those after the fact. Corn dog tartan, I don't know how many people would want a corn dog tartan.
I think there are things that might speak to the experience of the county fair that might work.
A Ferris wheel.
Work well.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great American invention, the Ferris wheel.
Indeed.
Yep.
Matt, other ones.
Other ones. Some people are saying maybe a sporin with the logo for the collection, like the stars and the circle, so the Betsy Ross flag or the logo of the
Oh, wow.
collection,
Okay.
like into the leather.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
Glad you like the design. I mean, it's hard to go wrong with a Betsy Ross flag.
Yeah.
Fair.
Some people are going off the corn dog, maybe like a funnel cake belt buckle.
Or teacups, tilt-a-whirl. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
Oh,
Fair.
man.
There's most of the good ones so far.
Okay. Fair. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah. Some people are wondering, because it does come out next week, if maybe you can talk a little bit about what E Pluribus Unum might look like.
Sure.
Without giving it away.
Without giving it away.
Without
want
giving
you to
it
give, they
away.
want you to give it away, but
Yeah, I know they want me to give it away. The concept behind E Pluribus Unum, and really the entire collection, but we leaned into it more with E Pluribus Unum, is the concept of unity, and the concept of positivity and the good things. There's anywhere you look, there's plenty of negativity. There's plenty of division. There's plenty of stuff you don't want to see. And I don't know about you, but my brain needs a break. It needs a rest. And we wanted this collection. Like the negative bucket for me is filled. I want to start filling the other bucket. I want to start filling the positivity. I want to start filling the things that we can all get behind and the things that bring us together and we can all get excited about and just not for a minute not pay attention to the other stuff and just kind of have a break mentally. So the E Pluribus Unum tartan, we designed that one and came out with that one first, kind of as a nod to the founding of the country. It actually started out its life before we went with the story on it. It started out its life as the Founding Fathers tartan. And then we said, no, there's a bigger story here. There's more of an emotional pitch.
Right.
And I wanted to tell that story. So it's more of an emotional pitch about unity, about bringing, it's about the founding of the country, the ideals of the country. It's about bringing people together. It's about remembering why we love being here. Remember why this is the best, let's say the best place on earth. I'm not trying to sound like uber patriotic, but why it means something to us or should mean something to us and what the good things about being here are. It's not just all bad stuff. There's good stuff too. And focusing on that and focusing on the unity that we need to reintroduce into our lives. That's the reason why that's the first one.
Yeah, so in this case, it's basically if the United States is a grand experiment, as it's been often called, this one is the story of some of the ingredients that went into that recipe or went into that testing that were tested that became part of the experiment. So
Yeah, into the stew. Yes.
yeah,
I like
as it were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep.
So that's that one. It's going to have a good. I'll start with this. I'll give you a little sneak idea of it. It's a lot of blue on purpose, but 2 shades of blue, so it breaks it up a little bit. And it's got a great soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope it lands for you guys, because it really did land for me. So, Matt,
any other ones you want to kind of tease out what they might look like that you're just excited to maybe talk about or intrigue people's imagination?
is there any what's some of the ones? What are the top guesses so far, or top ones people are excited about?
Sure. So tied for third is EPU, E Pluribus Unum, and Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Second is Open Road.
Mm.
And number 1 by a mile is Purple Mountain's Majesty.
Interesting. Interesting.
With
Very
almost
interesting.
twice as many votes as the second place.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Purple Mountain's Majesty. It's Purple Mountain's Majesty and Grand Canyon, and to a degree Amber Waves as well, are the more landscape inspired ones. There's bigger stories there as well. It's not just landscape.
Yeah.
But it's Purple Mountain's Majesty. It's one of those where we obviously have to have purple in it. It's one I've just started ideating on and kind of coming up with a color palette for it. But it needs to feel rustic, as well as earthy and natural and organic, as well as have purple. But I'm thinking, sunset over the Rockies. I'm thinking, Appalachia. I'm thinking like the mountains of the country.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
the Appalachian Mountains. I'm thinking of mountain ranges.
The Rockies, maybe?
Yes, I've said Rockies and other mountain
Okay.
ranges. Yes, there's 2 main mountain ranges.
I'm gonna keep giving you a hard time about it.
Fair.
That's okay.
But I'm trying to think of, and I'm also with these, frankly speaking, I'm challenging ourselves in coming up with designs that don't just look the same as all the other designs we've come up with. Not that our
Right.
designs are all
Right.
samey, but it's not just going to be me doing designs. I have at least one other design done by someone else, as part of the collection. But it's coming up with new and challenging concepts for designs and artistic expressions within the designs, and having it help tell the story. So it's, thoughts.
I think, I mean, Purple Mountain, it's going to be about the enormity of the mountains. And I'm imagining there will be some whites and grays, because you think about the coldness of the mountains, the sense of adventure, for good or for ill, depending on who you were and what time in history it was, of approaching them, and the significance of what they represented to our ancestors as they encountered the continental divide, but color-wise, there's a depth of shadow that we're thinking about. I think that's really, I would say, depths would be a way to express where we're going with that.
And just going after emotionally going after the enormity of it, and just the standing, and this is with Grand Canyon as well, and Pacific Northwest to a degree, and as well with the Purple Mountains, is thinking about, if I'm standing there staring at this thing, just the beauty that is in front of me, and the enormity of the experience, and the majesty of nature, period. And just looking at it and the kind of emotions, and I want to try to tease that out in the designs that we're going after.
Yeah.
So hope that helps. All right, Matt, we'll do one more, and then we'll go over really get into the list a little bit.
All right, one more. How about when we first showed the trailer, a couple people were asking where we filmed it, what that process was like.
It was easy.
Big kudos to the whole team.
A lot of touching of cannons.
It's been a big. That was a big project.
We did that at Valley Forge Park at a couple different locations. In the park, it was a full day shoot. It was a lot of scripting, a lot of challenges, a lot of wind noise and background noise, a lot of playing around with it. It was a fun experiment, or not. It was a fun project, not experiment. Excuse me. To shoot that out in nature, and yeah, it was just a fun time. Matt, you can chime in if you want. What did you think of the filming aspect of doing all that?
Well, I think it turned out great. I think your performance is really good. I think the team's cinematography and editing is great. I think it's a really good trailer. And I mean, when you have something as beautiful as Valley Forge, it's it's easy to find some cool spots like we did.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of serendipity, I think, to it. Some of the places that we found to get shots we had not expected to find. So that was very gratifying. So,
yeah. Yes, the light in that one room that Patrick found was like, oh yeah, no, this is awesome. So, and I will give firm kudos in my join or die mug to the videography team for a kick-ass job putting together the trailer for that. It was a long, tedious process, but it was still with a lot of revisions. But I'm really, really, really pleased with how it came out. That one, the E Pluribus one that Adam did, that's coming out, and the first one, the trailer Patrick did. So I'm very, very pleased, quality wise, with how the whole thing has come together and looks in the trailer. So cheers, both of these.
We are not flying Rocky out to the Grand Canyon for that video.
Not with that attitude.
No, well, you're okay. You're right. Maybe Spirit Airlines. I don't know.
Teleportation.
We just drop you in the middle of the canyon.
Indeed.
But,
all right, Matt, let's go over the broader ones. Is there any that are fourth, fifth place, or any that no one has mentioned? Just curious.
None of them were not mentioned.
Okay.
Though some were definitely mentioned less than others. Do you want to work from top down or bottom up?
Yeah, let's do bottom up. Yeah,
right. So the least mentioned one was Grand Canyon.
Okay.
With 2 votes.
Oh.
Okay.
Tied with 3 votes is Sparks and Melting Pot.
Okay.
And there were some people a little, they commented on it too. They were a little apprehensive because they weren't sure what the design was going to look like.
Yeah. Understood.
Because they're a little more abstract.
Have faith,
Yes.
my brother.
Yes.
With 4 was County Fair and Amber Waves.
Okay.
Coming up next was American Worker and America 250.
Okay. Okay.
And Surf and Sea. Or
Okay,
Sun
Surf and Sand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then we had Leave No Trace.
Okay. That one's going to be cool. I'm excited for that one.
Yeah.
And I think that's all of them.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. Boys and girls, thank you for joining us. I hope this project tickles your imagination as it has tickled ours. And keep an eye out. First one's dropping July 1st, 2024. And the rest of them you can see in the link in the description. It's going to be on the website. It's currently on the website. Right now, it's live. So, cool. Until next time, Slanjava. I hope you guys are as excited about this collection as we are. It's been a long time in the making, and we're happy it's finally getting done. If you want to see the whole collection, go over to usakilts.com and click on America 250, or you can actually catch the link down in the description below. If you want to, tell us down in the comments, which design are you most excited about? That's what I want to know.